Well, his voice and his name are absolutely synonymous with yachting in this country and also the coverage of the America's Cup on telly. Peter Lester, welcome to the show, mate.
G'day, Martin.
Great fun seeing you last night. Great fun being there at the unveiling and the naming of Taihoro. And we got to see up close and personal just feed away this, well, I don't even know if it's a boat. I mean, to me, it's a man-made water shark is what it is.
Well, it is a boat because it floats. Well, some of the time it floats and then it rips out of the water and gets around the harbour at 50 knots. I mean, it's being there last night, man, and look, I've been to a lot of these things now, but it never ceases to amaze me in such a small time. And I'm talking now, 11 years from we first saw Aotearoa, the big cat foil off North Head. And now we look at this new boat go in the water and how advanced it is, even relating back to last America's Cup. I mean, it really does, testament to Team New Zealand, how far they've moved that program on in the last 3 years.
It's almost reinventing the wheel every time, isn't it? Because, we were standing there, and I'm not name dropping here, people, but we were talking to Tony Ray about this. And what we were looking at just a couple of America's Cup back at the trampoline where the boys would be jumping across the boat, all of that kind of stuff. You look at this thing, it's absolutely and utterly different, totally different.
Yeah, it is, and refined, very, very refined. I mean, when we were standing in the shed after, and it was pouring with rain, and we waited we're a bunch of wimps, actually. We waited for the rain to stop.
Yeah, we did.
And we went down, and I think I said to you, let's go down and have a look at the deck layout of this thing. It might be kind of interesting. Well, we got down there, and there isn't a deck layout. Because everything that they use to sail that boat is below decks. And all you're seeing is a platform that has been optimized aerodynamically so that thing slips through the air and the water as quickly as possible. And down below, and I think Senior, who's the head boat builder for Emirates Team New Zealand, spoke in that video clip that we saw and just said, the volume of the boat has got smaller. And so, I mean, the working area down below under the deck, but the equipment inside has got more. So therefore they have to be very efficient how they put the boat together. So it'll be fascinating down track. I'd love to be able to stick my head down below and have a look at the attention to detail in the engineering, because that is the heart of that boat.
The last one that went out, I was very fortunate. Grant took us out on that and just let me have a little head poke underneath. And it looked like when you open the back of your old computer. I mean, and honestly, mate, there's just... or perhaps the cockpit of a jumbo jet. The electronics were incredible, and the flashing lights. What was going on down there? There's so much cabling and everything else. This is the thing. I mean, what you're talking about is you're talking about an engineering like, can I say, a Formula One car? It doesn't have an engine, but everything else.
Well, I think Bob Field, not last night, but in the past, Bob Field, who's the chairman of Emirates Team New Zealand's board, put it so well a couple of years ago when he said, hey, it's not a sports team, it's a technology company that happened to race yachts. And I think that's what we really saw last night. I sort of got a little bit of wind of it earlier in the last year when I was lucky enough to be in Villanova for the America's Cup preliminary regatta. And Grant invited me to go up to Barcelona before we flew out. Went into the boat shed and had a bit of a guided tour of Te Ruatai. And I mean, I'm used to seeing that boat, and I've seen it a lot. And I went on board and I went, hold on a minute, this isn't the boat I saw in Auckland. And sticking my head again down below through a hatch, they had done a complete revamp of that boat to test and to develop what we saw there last night. So Te Ruatai really has been a working test bed.
Wow.
For what we saw last night. She wasn't the boat that won the America's Cup. Hull form it was, but I'm talking the inner heart of the boat had been used as a prototype for this boat.
Peter Lester with us. Now, the old mate Mark Orams, I was exchanging some messages with him today, and this is his view. He said, it's a weapon for sure. He said, I feel sorry for the cyclists who are hidden down low as hamsters on a wheel, maxing out their HR for as long as they can. He said, but this is the bit that I wanted to put you. He said, I admire their athletic abilities, but we may as well allow stored energy to run the systems as on the AC40s and ditch the cyclers. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, that's a view, and maybe in time that's where it will go. But I don't think the sport yet is quite ready for that. Certainly, you look at that working environment for the cyclors, and it's hell.
It's in a cave, a nasty, hot, sweaty cave.
Their heads are not above the gunnel or the deck of the boat because, of course, that's upsetting the airflow. So when you look at Hamish Bond there last night, I mean, and Marius van der Plug, they are the heart of that boat, and they are the people that generate the hydraulic capacity to allow the trimmers, the likes of Nathan Outridge and Peter Burling and Blair Tuke and the rock stars, Andy Maloney, who are the 4 sailors on board. Only 4 sailors on board.
Only 4 sailors on board.
And 4 cyclors.
Amazing.
And I mean, without that hydraulic capacity generated by the cyclors, the boat can't sail.
Peter, just a dumb question. So when it's up, those little wee feet at the end of the foils, is that what holds the boat underwater? Because I was looking at those things, and if you took those off, does the thing actually start to fly, does it?
Well, you've got the foil arms, so that's the bit that goes up and down as they tack and jibe. And then on the end of those arms, you've got the wings. And it's really wings like on an aeroplane. And they can also adjust the wings in terms of angle of attack in the water. And that's what makes the boat fly. And that wing technology is real secret squirrel stuff with all the teams. And the New Zealand boat at the moment, as does Luna Rossa, actually have the wings and the foil arms that they used at the last America's Cup.
Okay, right.
Those wings they'd been grandfathered. And so the Kiwi boat last night, when you look at the arm and then the wing on the end, that won't be the configuration that you'll see in Barcelona.